Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience in being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you bound.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah!
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up-to-the-minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Are you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. That's at David G. Evans 1. We love for you to participate in our conversation today as we talk about religion and culture and politics, current life-impacting events, all those things that we believe are relevant to your life, but always from a kingdom of God, from a biblical perspective. So we want you to give us a call today, 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We have the most intelligent callers in the world right here on OnPointe. Reverend Nicholas Smith is with us today. We're so glad he could join us once again. He is our statistician, our historitician, our everything that has to do with background. He's the guy that comes up with the information. So we are extremely excited once again to have you join us as he brings his unique perspective on the subjects of the day. So if you want to talk faith, you want to talk politics, you want to talk religion, you want to talk current events, this is the place where you can have that intelligent conversation. We don't always agree, but we're always agreeable.
That's right.
In the way we have these conversations. So this is not a place where you dump and go crazy. This is a place where you have a conversation that's constructive. Amen.
Be adults. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be grown folk about this thing, and we're allowed to disagree, but not to be disagreeable. 866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. What's happening, man?
I'm doing okay, man. Just ready for Saturday. Driving service. And
getting ready for it. Yeah.
I feel like we're getting back in the
flow. Yeah,
the flow.
Yeah.
Even though we just came out of the flow.
we stay in the flow, man. We stay in the flow. I'm excited though about what the Lord has been doing and what He's going to do through us as we seek to. I think the balance for ministry is responding biblically to the culture without losing your identity. I think part of the problem in today's ministry is that Christians as well as ministries are responding as if the culture is identifying them. So matching what the culture is demanding. So we see a lot of egotism and self-centeredness and the whole culture of self-idolization and if we're not careful, we'll find ourselves using scripture to push something that's not scriptural.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because the image and the likes seem to be the most important thing.
Right. When Jesus calls us completely to do the counter, which is to give up your life. Die to yourself. You know.
And I'm not sure that a lot of Christians are not convinced that doing that won't get them what they want.
Yeah. We don't want the sacrifice on the top end, on the front end. And the real commitment to keep our eyes on Jesus.
You know what? I think what's happened, we have so many examples of people not saved, pursuing their own thing. I think Christians think they can get that, and the success will compensate for the fact that they may not be in the will of God at that point.
Yeah. When our way is completely different. A CEO of a company can scheme their way to the top and
be admired by many.
And be admired by many.
Yeah.
You do that in the kingdom.
No.
It's going to be some consequences.
That's why I think some of Christians have to be careful that they're not responding to the rewards of the world, and maybe justifying themselves in their own mind. And as long as I'm saying Jesus, it's okay.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I'm seeing has nothing to do with the Lord at all.
Not at all.
I think I'm seeing more of these, what do they call them, thirsty videos?
Thirst traps.
Thirst traps.
Yeah, thirst traps. Yeah.
That's just you displaying yourself in a semi-pornographic way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thirst trap to get the attention, to get the.
That's what that's all about.
Yeah. So if you were naturally.
So the attention is the priority.
Yes.
So that's why we see the limits of what will be done being stretched
to get the attention.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the cloak of I'm being me, I'm expressing me. But everything about you, the world doesn't need to see, know.
So the likes and the affirmation is more important than than righteousness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And some people, I hate when they use this, you're being religious and not being spiritual cloak to do something. That's religious. When religion and spirituality properly go together.
They're not opposed.
They're not opposed.
Humanity has made them opposed.
Yeah.
You pursue the Lord religiously.
Yes.
Just like you eat breakfast religiously every morning.
Yeah.
So you have to decide which definition you're going to be defined by.
I mean, the Bible says true religion takes care of the widow, the sick, the poor, and so on. So it's not that religion is bad.
No.
And then we have some famous gospel people who are talking about, I'm losing my religion, I'm losing so-and-so. Somebody explain to me, what the heck is a religious spirit? Like, when you think about it, like, I've never seen Jesus call the Pharisees a religious spirit.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I think that's a misidentification.
Yeah.
I think what people saying when something is a religious spirit, from the people that I've seen, and some of them I respect, they're talking about the traditional physical gesticulations that represent spirituality.
Right. Okay.
So they call that a religious spirit. But the Bible does not condemn religion.
Yep.
So instead of saying a religious spirit, maybe that's a traditional, instead of saying a traditional way of expressing spirituality. That's a long way to say. The shorter way is to say religious spirit. But the Bible doesn't say religion is bad.
Not at all.
It says pure religion.
Pure religion. Yep. That's what the scripture says.
Yeah, pure religion.
And I'm becoming more and more aware. Nuance and critical thinking is lost on so many people.
Oh yeah.
And not to say that I know everything, I'm completely right, but maybe I'm too pragmatic. But
I don't think so. I think the problem is that a lot of our thinking is driven by self agendas.
Yeah.
So I'm having to hang a sign of spirituality and integrity on something that's obviously not.
Yeah. Yeah. Because God knows my heart.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, something's wrong with
the
it.
Bible
That's what
talks
it says.
about that.
Yeah, something's wrong with your heart.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But I love Jesus. I should be able to express myself. But the call to salvation, if you really want to get down to it, the call of salvation is a call of losing self. That's really, in order to live, you have to lose.
And it's a distinct lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you said something key in that. People don't want to lose themselves because it's all that they have.
It's all they have. Yep.
And even if it's fractured, immature, egotistical, whatever you want to call it, wounded, that's the self they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So losing that individual means the prospect of becoming new, as the Bible says we will, is frightening to some people.
Man at the pool.
I need to hold on to all of the old me as possible so I can identify me in this new walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keisha Bryant's calling from Elizabeth. She was our last caller last week. Good morning, Keish.
Morning, Bishop.
How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Doing good, girl. Good to hear from you.
You too. Well, what's the I don't understand the thirsty, the thirsty and the trash message you talking about this morning.
Go ahead. I can't hear you. You got? Do you have your radio up in the back?
I was saying the thirsty and trash. That's
Okay.
the message for this morning.
No, that's just something we were talking about.
Oh, hold on. No, this is my first time calling you.
Okay, good. I know we see you online a lot.
I was wondering what's the thirsty trash?
Thirst trap.
Thirst trap. Go ahead, Pastor Nick.
Well, thirst trap is somebody basically putting themselves out there in a seductive way to get attention. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's thirst trap.
Thirst traps. It's, you don't need to show all that.
Trying to attract attention using using their bodies. A lot of that on social media.
House or a car.
I mean, some people. Depends on what your appeal is. I know people that took pictures by a car that wasn't theirs to make it look like it was theirs.
I know a guy that took a picture besides 5 Rolls Royces and doesn't even own one.
I'm trying to tell you something.
I saw a guy show his Rolex online, which it's all to attract attention. But the other extreme, Keisha, is you have people exposing themselves, let me put it that way, online, but trying to give some kind of inspirational message with it.
Yeah.
When actually,
Like try to get somebody attention.
Yep. There you go.
Oh God, No,
Yeah.
no.
It's happening a lot on
I'm
social
not gonna
media.
hold you up. This is just a quick call because I had to go out.
Okay.
I just want to say, I just want to thank you for your time of answering all my questions when I don't know something. And I really enjoyed your 31st anniversary because I was looking it up on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it was awesome.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say, continue. That God will bless you with many, many, many more.
Thank you so much, Keisha.
You're welcome.
You be safe today now.
I will.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, Bishop.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. That was Keisha Bryant from Elizabeth, New Jersey. She joins us on 10 Times Better quite a bit. Yeah.
Sunday morning, everything.
Yeah, she's really a presence online. So glad. Elizabeth, I know a lot of people up there. Yeah. A couple pastors. So,
I didn't want to talk about number one, but if you wanted to, I just put
well,
it
let's
there.
talk about
I'll put it there.
let's talk about it.
it was
We
in the
don't
news, so-
avoid things. Let's start with the testimony of the Capitol Police. Did you see any of that?
Yes, I did.
All right. Can you explain to me how any politician with any sense at all would come out against those four guys?
Thank you.
How are you law and order supporting?
Mm-hmm.
How are you right supporting? Right and not versus wrong. I'm talking about not right politics.
Yeah.
But right versus wrong. How can you say that the day in which people were they were killed, we see film of them being assaulted,
Mm-hmm.
that was a normal tourist event
Mm-hmm.
at the Capitol?
Yep. And to the very police that are protecting you.
How do you
in
say
the building.
that?
These are the people protecting you.
How do you say that? Well, it shows, everyone has to be careful, especially like when we go to restaurants and places where we're being served, that you don't start perceiving people that are there to wait on you, help you, serve you as pieces of furniture.
Yep.
And I really do believe that the Capitol Police see that many of the politicians they're protecting see them as inconsequential or a dime a dozen.
Yep. We can always go get another one.
Because, guys lost their lives.
Yeah. Yep. And they're just trying to appeal to their base.
But why doesn't the base see this stuff?
That's the thing. That whole Blue Lives Matter is a farce. That only came up because of the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
It didn't. It was just a counter slogan.
It was that's all it was.
Yeah.
You don't care that much.
No.
Because if you cared, you would be totally opposed to these people. But 4 or 5 police officers died, I think.
Yeah.
A couple of them quit because of it.
Couple killed themselves after.
Yeah, killed themselves. But come on.
That would mean something to you.
Yeah. Did you see the black guy said the first time I've ever heard somebody call me an N-word in the uniform?
Yeah.
Was that day.
Yeah.
He's trying to appeal to their senses, which at that point,
they don't have any.
They ain't had no senses.
I thought it was, Fox News actually mocked them.
Really?
Yes.
Mm.
And I thought they were all about law and order.
Yeah, right.
And Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah.
But evidently, to this group of politicians, so what are they're unwilling to support law enforcement in a real way, because this is how you get to do it in a real way. Because Trump may have a problem.
Yep. Yeah, because in their eyes, we're taking our country back, and if the government is in the way, we have the ability to take down our government. That constitutionally, that's in the Constitution, but I need y'all to think about this.
It's not the same scenario.
It's not the same scenario. Like, we got a full military.
Yeah.
Come
on. There's no need for a militia.
Come on. You're not taking over.
Come on.
The only way somebody could take over is if they infiltrated politics and power.
My problem is this. It's okay for you to interpret the Constitution in a way that fits your agenda.
Yep.
But you don't interpret it to the advantage of other people.
Yep. Their view of America. Yep. Even the one guy didn't even want to shake the police officer's hand. I can't remember the congressman's name. Just walk right past the police officer.
Because they can't show any humanity towards.
Yeah.
the former president is sitting at home watching the whole thing, and he doesn't want to see you give people their proper credit, honor them in any way. That's stupid.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, if they had any sense at all, every candidate that Trump has supported up until this time has lost. After he got out of office, they had these little quick, they had to do some of these quick things. They all lost.
There's a rebellion against that nonsense.
Yeah. So he has his core hyper base.
Okay.
But then there are other people that are conservative on the conservative line, like, nah, we can't do this no more.
Wow. I think the Republicans made a fatal mistake in they had an opportunity to be about half of this investigating committee.
Yep.
Decided they weren't going to do it. Either they forgot that Ms. Pelosi can form her own and then choose her own. But you're not going to reject my invitation and then try to tell me who you're going to put on my team.
Absolutely.
And the worst thing they could have done was not take part and then have somebody like Cheney and Kissinger on the committee. Because they're, and none of them will attack Kissinger.
No.
They're not going to do it to his face. Because he's actually a veteran that could, kick most of their behind. So they're not going to say a whole lot about Adam. On the other hand, they're finding that the one guy said, there's a problem when Miss Cheney is thrown off committees for telling the truth. But you got people staying on committees who are doing all kinds of heinous things.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you have Gates still on committees?
Yeah.
And you throw Cheney off for telling the truth?
Right. Exactly. This fool, Gates. He goes to
Nick.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just surprised at your frankness this morning.
I'm just,
you're normally very diplomatic.
I
but
am. We did getting on my nerves. It's
Okay.
just, he goes to a prison, right?
Yeah.
To see some of the people that were in jail for the insurrection.
Right.
So he goes there unannounced, on tape.
Oh, really?
And tweets, they're not letting me in there to go see them. They're trying to hold us back from helping our people. You went to a prison unannounced. Why do you think they would let you in to the prison?
Just to cause a problem. It was a photo op.
Thank you. And I'm like, it's a photo op, and people, it's not right. They're holding it. Like,
you cannot just show up at a jail. I don't care who you are.
Thank you.
Especially somebody that's going to be under indictment in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. Here's my problem.
Okay.
They claim to be pro-life, right?
They're not.
This man was messing with teenage girls. Right? So you don't find that so unacceptable just because he's supporting this over here.
The same way if 26 women, no matter what their ethnicity, had come out against Barack Obama, he'd have been the worst man in the world.
He would have even got past the first
They would have said one or two, okay, maybe not. But 26 of them?
Oh, yeah.
Unsolicited, mashing, all doing the stuff that Trump was heard on tape admitting to. But all of a sudden, this conservative party is okay with that kind of behavior. They would have destroyed another politician for that.
Absolutely. They were so afraid of losing their power, they took whatever came. But
they're losing their identity.
Yeah, you can't control the beast that you helped create. It's always going to turn on you.
Yeah, that's Frankenstein.
That's
for
Frankenstein.
Sure.
It's always going to do it.
Let's go to Tom, and then we're going to Kife. Good morning, Tom. How you doing?
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
All right. How's things in Florida today?
Oh man, I wasn't even going to go there.
It's a loaded question. We want to hear the tea on Florida this morning.
I got to give it up because this affects me almost. The hospital that's closest to me.
Yeah.
Big thing on it last night. 2 weeks ago, there were 2 to 3 people in intensive care for this COVID thing.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, it's up to 40. 99% have not been vaccinated. The worst part is 41% of the healthcare folks haven't been vaccinated themselves.
Really?
Yep.
Yes, and the hospital's Holy Cross. It's on the news. They're saying it's going to become mandatory to get vaccinated, or you won't be there.
Well, they're a little slow on the draw, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think they're seeing the uptick with all this going on that sitting home. I mean, they were almost done with the cases. 2 weeks ago, they had 2 people there. Now they're up to 40. One of the bigger hospitals in Miami is up from 25 up to 420 people. We have the highest amount of folks in intensive care in the country right now. It's crazy.
You know what's amazing? Take a hospital for instance, and you got half the staff that's vaccinated and half the staff isn't. You got people coming in, 97 or 98% of those people coming into the hospital with COVID are not vaccinated. Yet, people are saying to themselves, I can stay invulnerable to, unaffected by COVID. I think, and this is going to be a little frank, half a building vaccinated, another half not, half a population vaccinated, and another half not, is like trying to have a pissing section in a pool. There is no pissing section in a pool.
Right. It's going to spread.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's going to spread.
It's ridiculous.
They had a nurse on last night, and they were interviewing.
I'm sorry.
The visual was there.
I'm sorry.
They had this nurse on.
You're going to get some on you.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, it's there.
And you see what is happening to the people right in front of your face.
I mean, if I was an intensive care nurse and I see people checking out, that alone would convince me to get a vaccination.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to be in that bed in that position.
Right. And you being a doctor's not going to change that.
What you saying, Tom?
I'd have been first in line, but I had this one nurse on, and she actually said, it takes at least 2 to 3 years to develop these antivirus things, and I don't understand how you could do it so quickly. That was her excuse.
Wow.
And again, she's made the comment, I don't know what's in it. I can't believe people are still saying that.
Well, I think, someone I was talking to said, we read the backs of foods that we eat, the labels of things that we drink, and we can't pronounce half the stuff we're drinking.
Yep.
So don't tell me all of a sudden you got this problem. And the other thing about the vaccine is this: the technology, the medical technology for the vaccine, and for this particular way this vaccination works, the technology is not new.
Yeah.
They adopted a historic technology for this particular, which is the only way they were able to produce the vaccine this quickly, is because the studies and the research and all that was already in place.
Yes. COVID's been around. They've been working on this virus
for a long time.
For a long time. Like,
I mean, look, it says COVID-19, right?
Right.
So that means there's 18 other ones.
Yeah. Right.
It's not just they randomly pulled. It's like people think they randomly pulled names for hurricanes out of the pot. No.
Yeah.
They've got some historic data. That's why they call them what they call them.
Right. Because SARS been around for how long?
Forever.
I mean, it's like.
Anyway, Tom, good to talk to you, man. You doing all right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We our one quickie. Our governor.
Yeah.
Do
you have one?
Here, yeah. Right. Counties down here in South Florida have put the mask mandates back in.
Okay.
Especially for school.
Okay.
Yesterday, he signed an executive order that kids going back to school will not wear masks.
Yep.
That's just stupid.
Yep.
I don't know. They already have one school they opened, no mask mandate, and I understand 100 of the kids got sick, plus staff members. They had to close the school down in less than 2 weeks because of Delta. I mean, it's just dumb.
Yep.
Once again, so people are not going to have restraints. You're going to put them in mass together, and you expect nothing to happen. What is the point of taking a political position that's going to hurt the very people? But you know what? Just because your governor says it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Right. Exactly.
The powers that be down here in the southern part of the state are fighting it, and what happened last time, they got around it, and he just, it's all totally political. I mean, how else?
He does not care about you all. That's my problem. He's your governor. He's supposed to care about you.
He's one individual. I just don't read.
No, he's nuts. Yeah, he's not right. But I bet you all of his folk are vaccinated and all of his folk are protected.
I guarantee.
I know it. Thanks, Tom.
All right, you guys, good day.
Have a good day. This is On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. 1-866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. We're going to Keefe from Lawnside, and then John from South Jersey. Keefe, is that you?
Have a good day. This is On Point.
Keefe, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Hi, turn your radio down in the back, Keefe.
Yeah.
That's my iPad. That's why I'm watching y'all on.
Yeah, turn it down.
I'm doing good now.
Okay.
My thing is this, and good morning to you also, Pastor Nick.
Hey, man.
I'm praying for Florida as well, but for the rest of the states, what could be going on? Because now I'm hearing that the COVID-19 mess. I know we're sticking on that for a bit, but I'm saying to myself, okay, some states and some of the governors don't have their head on right.
That's true.
Because as I see fit, I think they need to be re-educated because, number one, if you are going to lift the mandate of mask, whether it's going to be inside. If you say inside, that's fine. But if you're outside, okay, you don't have to wear the mask. But then you're saying to some people, okay, it's your choice whether to wear the mask or not. But now I'm looking at, okay, are you trying to confuse us?
No, they've politicized something that's life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And I repeat, why are people responding to something that's going to put them and their families in danger? I don't understand that.
Yeah. Me either. Because
just because the governor says you can go into a room with 1,000 people in it, doesn't mean you have to go into a room with 1,000 people in it.
That's true. And my other thing is this. I say to myself, I know this probably also includes, overseas countries and stuff like that. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, okay, are you telling everyone in your country, village, or wherever the person lives at, okay, this COVID-19 is not over yet, go back to the mask. But then, on the other hand, some people are not wearing masks, and this is what, from I understand, some people don't even want the COVID shot, and they're going to be risking their lives. Now, my thing there is that the people who are not going to get the COVID-19 are risking their lives, but the people who are not are still wearing masks, whether inside or out. And I'm saying to this, how can you say you're not going to get the COVID-19? Because that's the thing that can save your life. But then, on the other hand, there's some people are saying, oh, it's just a waste of time. I'm not going to get it. No. Pastor Nick, what are your thoughts of people who are in mixed continuity on that?
I think unfortunately, we are having an unpleasant revelation of the heartlessness, the actual heartlessness and lack of concern that Americans have for other people. I think it has become all about the individual.
Right.
And what people are not saying is, I'm not going to do it, and I'm willing to infect those around me when I catch it. That's the bottom line. Because with this Delta variant is at least 1,000 times more infectious than what we dealt with in the beginning. At least 1,000 times more, which means you don't have to be in a room with somebody 10 minutes like you did with previous version of the virus. You can be immediate contact, immediately breathing what they're breathing, and you have a problem. And these people are ending up in ICU. You don't hear of a whole lot of mild cases of Delta. So people that are selfish are not only not caring about themselves, but they're not caring about other people. And I think that's wrong. And I know people with elderly parents who is just, I would rather, we've been saying this for weeks, I'd rather you say I'm afraid to get it than come up with all these political reasons. You know, they're taking away my right to do what? A mask takes away your right? You know, come on, you don't have much going on in your life. If a mask is an infliction on your constitutional rights, a mask, come on now. We got to let you go, Keefe.
All right, Bishop.
Talk to you.
Talking with you.
Good,
right.
good stuff. We're going to John from South Jersey. Good morning, John. How you doing?
Good morning, Bishop and Pastor Nick. It's always good to hear you guys. Thank you for taking the call. I want to shift gears just a little bit, if I may.
Okay.
With this variant and the Delta,
Mm-hmm.
from the kingdom living aspect,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on where you have leaders that are not encouraged to get the vaccine because they feel the Lord has not touched them to get it? With all that's happening, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I have a very practical answer for that. In that all of the preachers that I know that have decided just what you're talking about are now dead from COVID. So this is the only time in my saved life, I've been saved since 1976, that I have ever seen wisdom equated with a lack of faith. The only time in my saved lifetime where we're actually thinking of others, which the Bible promotes very, very passionately, with taking care of your brother. All of those principles are now thrown away because individuals, now watch this, have not only politicized COVID, they've spiritualized it. So watch this, biblical example. Plague comes through Israel. God says, I'm going to vaccinate your household with the blood. If you're not vaccinated with it, death angel's going to kill you. So we have a situation where there's a biblical precedent of doing what they were in quarantine. I'm using the blood stain as a vaccination. And what was it for? So your household and other households would not be destroyed. So it makes perfect sense to me that those of us who are leaders are influencing the lives of other people. You know, people talk about being an influencer. When you have a congregation as large as ours, a fellowship of churches as large as ours, that I actually influence people I know. We influence people that we see, not a bunch of likes on Facebook or social media, not some friends I've never met. So we're actually influencing lives. So it was almost impossible for us not to get the vaccine.
Right. I understand that, Bishop, and you know, I appreciate that aspect of it because, you know, I believe, it's my personal opinion, you have a lot of faith-based individuals who preach one thing and push one message, but yet when it comes to this variant and the Delta rise, they're against pushing their flock to get the vaccine.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense to me. But I don't want to take your time. I just wanted to bring that point up. I appreciate all you do, and God bless you guys.
Thank you, man. Thanks for calling us. Call us again.
All right.
866-743-8267. We're going to Danny from Lauderdale, Hill, Florida in just a moment. 866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. We've got outdoor service today at 11:30. 107.5 is the frequency when you arrive at the campus. Tomorrow, once again, we're having our 8 a.m. service and encounter, 9:45 to 10:45, engage live, 11 a.m. encounter.
107.7?
107.7.
Sorry.
Okay, 107.7. Change again. All right. I see 115 drive by.
Oh, sorry. I meant to cancel that out. Sorry.
Okay.
No,
okay.
we're good. They crossed
Because
it out.
tomorrow's communion, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's communion. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So I thought maybe I was wrong.
No.
Now, if you have a prayer request, we're always praying here. Email your prayer request to social@gotobethany.com. Social@gotobethany.com. Mail in your prayer request. Doesn't matter what it is. Just mail it in and allow us to agree with you in prayer about this. And we'll come back in a few minutes with a few more announcements. Let's go to Danny. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick, staff. How y'all doing today?
What's happening in Florida, man?
It's unbelievable, and it does not make sense what's going on and what's happening. I don't know if you heard what's happening here, but the cases now is doing a complete flip-flop, where before it was a situation of the elderly, weak immune systems and things like that. But what has happened is that there has been a tremendous increase in hospitalization of young people.
Okay.
When I say young people, I'm talking about elementary school, middle school, high school, in that age bracket.
Okay.
Now you set up these rules and regulations talking about going back to school, and now some of the school boards have said, look, we're going to make it mandatory that you wear the mask, but the governor is against it.
What's wrong with your governor?
I can't, it's crazy. And also, now that they put the cruise ship business back in, one of the ships, I forgot the name of it, but they came down, I believe, 6 cases.
Already?
Yeah, which means it's probably spread to more, of course.
Of course it is.
Yep.
I'm back to my pool illustration.
Yep. Yep, literally.
Back to my pool illustration, yes. Okay.
And like you said, I mean, months ago, Bishop, you said this, that it's bad to go ahead and rush back. Let's go ahead and maintain what we have, keep these things down, and take example of some of these other countries who have maintained the mask situation and don't jump right back into it.
Well, and they're pushing people back together too quickly. I'm not a scientist. I don't profess to be one. But if it's spread from person to person, does it make sense you don't cram people back in a room together? Does it make sense you don't push the kids back into classrooms together? I mean,
it makes sense to me.
Who's driving this bus?
Right, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm watching the politicians, it looks like the clown bus has unloaded at the Capitol. I don't understand it.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it's just plain, I gotta say something wrong, common sense.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
We're expecting too much from people.
But it's people spread it, so the logical thing to do would be keep people apart.
Yeah.
But there's a money decision that's been made.
Always.
But we've been talking about this for years. I thought that children were of chief importance to politicians, specifically my Republican friends. I thought that until the children got shot up in Connecticut.
Correct.
And they didn't move on the gun laws then. And I said, okay, they don't care about anything.
They don't.
And they've shown it. If children shot at school won't move you, then you really don't care what happens to them when they're in school.
Absolutely.
Except if it's to your political advantage.
Absolutely. Yep.
I am blown away with the lack of heart by, the people that represent us. I'm just blown away by it.
Yep.
So Dan, how's my sister doing?
She's doing great, Bishop. Good things is happening, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to give you a good report, on, what's happening with her. And
Good.
We're just meditating and, listening to the word and what have you. And thank God, for you and Bethany and all the hard work that you all have been doing. And, I take my hat off to the people that are behind the scenes.
We're wonderful people,
I realize that, it takes everybody to go ahead and keep the ship afloat, keep everything going. So I give everyone, thanks, and you and your 31 years, and Pastor Nick, everyone, and we love you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Give my sister a hug for me.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. 866-743-8267. We got Ava from Utica. Wonder what she's going to say today.
I know.
Let's find out. Ava. Good morning, Ava.
Hey.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. How you doing? Welcome, girl.
Hold on. Let me pause you on my other phone.
Okay.
Okay. I got a lot of phones going on over here.
How's everybody?
Everybody's doing well. I didn't even wake them up yet. I'm about to get breakfast going. We late. We had a long day yesterday.
Okay.
I wanted to call because I had a meeting on, excuse me, sir. I had a meeting on Thursday night, and I went in there, all guys. I'm the only woman there, and I'm the only person of the ethnic variety that's going into this meeting.
Okay.
And I'm saying to myself, Ava, don't get up in there and act like how you be acting. Don't let them pull you out the whole time. So I said, you got to act like Bishop, you know, because you got to wait with words. Bishop will cuss you out. You don't even know you got cussed out, right? So I'm like trying to get it together as I'm going out there in the car. So we get to the meeting, and they're just all like, you know, who has the biggest, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're doing all of this. So then they're like, well, we didn't hear anything from Ava. So I just I got calm and a little bit. I was nervous to wreck going all the way there. And then I just kind of got a little chill in there, and I went there. I said, well, listen, before I start talking, I'm just going to lay this out there. I'm a grown woman. I don't play this testosterone game that y'all playing. If y'all want to be in here howling and screaming and cursing, y'all can go talk to my husband. He outside in the car. But if you going to talk to me and we going to get some things settled today and resolved, y'all going to talk to me like I'm a woman in y'all presence. The room immediately calmed all the way down.
There you go.
I was like, praise the Lord.
There you go. There you go.
I thought I was going to have to act up in the room, but I started, you know, I said that's why I got married. You know, my husband's like, you didn't get married for love or nothing, right? I got married so when the guys act up, I can send them to my husband. I just messing with him. I like him all the time. Right. But I always tell him that, listen, I ain't got no time. If you want to beat your chest, you got to go over there and you got to talk to this dude because I ain't about that life today.
Right.
The meeting went well. It went in my favor. But, again, I didn't have to raise my voice, so I'm learning to not, like...
It works.
You know, I'm learning to not. Ava, you ain't got to go in there and cuss the whole room out.
No. Do you lose the room immediately?
Yep.
Yes, and then, you know, and I had heels on. I let them know in heels, so it was great. Heels and the dress, you know, I was good and done.
All right.
And that was one thing. And two, my kids have been doing the Sunday school, the Wednesday night thing, my teenagers, and they got, like, homework and stuff in the mail. I think it's amazing. And my kids don't necessarily like me. Your teachers probably love me, but, you know, they told them they got to do pick a Bible character, what they would be like nowadays, and you got to have Bible verses to support it. So my one kid, he picked somebody, and it's just like written. I'm like, well, where are your Bible verses to support this at, bro? And he's like, oh, well, I was just going to, you know, kind of guess, and I read the story before. You're going to need to go read it again because I need Bible verses to support all of your things. So I'm making them get right with it because they be trying to be lazy. I don't know who kids these is, I promise. I'm going to go get them tested. We got to go back to the hospital because I don't know sometimes.
They gave you the wrong ones?
They gave me the wrong ones. One of them might be right. One of them.
5 or 6 times, Ava?
Right. Right. Thank you.
Come on. Wait a second. Are you judging me? I'm being judged on point this morning, okay? You and Pastor Dick, like, right in the background. No,
not judgment.
No.
It's not judgment.
All right, guys. I just wanted to call
and congratulations on the way you handled yourself at the meeting.
Yeah, I'm learning.
It really works, Ava. It really does.
Now I ain't saying that tomorrow somebody might not catch me off guard.
No, but don't let them catch you off guard.
Yeah, I'm trying to be prepared and stay ahead of the game. I was nervous though going to the meeting. When I tell you I was in the car, like, oh my goodness, you're gonna say something ridiculous. You're gonna get all worked up. Calm down. I had to put a message on. I've been putting y'all Wednesday night messages on because y'all got to guide me through some things on my way to the meeting.
I understand. But you're too intelligent. You're too intelligent not to be under control.
Yep.
Yeah, I was worried. I was worried about myself. I was more scared of myself than I wasn't worrying about them. I was worried about what I was going to do. So, y'all Wednesday nights have been doing something for me, though. I promise you. Just keep doing what y'all doing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ava.
I'll get out there one of these Saturdays and act up with everybody out there. And
I
I
understand.
want Chick-fil-A peach milkshakes and all that other stuff Pastor Nick and them always talking about. Well, I'm going to let y'all know I'm coming. Just have like a big bag of food for me.
That might be good to get today.
Okay. Really? Really?
Now that you brought it up.
Yeah, now that you said something. All right.
All right, daughter. Talk to you now.
Bye.
See you.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. So, I don't know how we veered off, but we were talking about the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
And their testimony. And I watched some of it. I thought it was riveting.
Yeah.
To have 4 individuals who were in it, and then to see video with them on the video.
Yep.
And then watch politicians literally explain the day away. You know, but I'm under the impression that they're not asking the Congress people, the reporters are not asking the right questions. The next time someone would say to me, it was a normal tour, and I would say, perhaps, you know, our definition of normal differs. So you're saying that a normal tour is people urinating in the hallways and spreading excrement on the walls and, you know, breaking in, offices and asking where's Trump and having, apparatus and equipment to bind people, and you're saying that's a normal tour?
Right. Can we tour your house that way?
That would kill it. That would kill that guy. They're not asking the right questions.
Can we tour your house that way? Let's come to your house and let's go for a tour.
Good and darn.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Come on.
And then the guy said, I still stand by what I said.
They're trying to appeal to a certain group.
But the group has eyes.
Yeah, I know. But their group defends that stuff.
You can't call it. Say we tried to take over the Capitol.
Yeah,
don't say it was a normal tour.
Yeah, call it what it is.
That wasn't normal. Breaking windows, kicking in doors, people getting shot. Was.
And these cops are in tears during testifying. Like, come on, yo.
They don't care about them.
They don't.
And the folk, the people that support this stuff as okay, don't care about them either.
Yep. Because I'm telling you, if one of the Congress people was walking through and somebody starts shooting up, they would want those police officers to protect them
immediately. But they don't care about them. I think they think they're expendable.
Yeah.
They don't see them as real people.
Yep.
Because if they did, you can't watch the video with these guys on it and say this stuff didn't happen.
Absolutely. Tear gas and all that
all
stuff.
That, man.
Come on. Nah. They don't care.
You gonna believe your lying eyes? You gonna believe what I'm telling you?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder what history's gonna say about this year and last year. It's just
depends on who's writing it.
Yeah, the whole Trump presidency just
it's a mess.
From a literal historian, like people that do it, it's going to be a mess 20, 30 years from now.
Oh yeah. It'll be one of the worst times in American history.
Yeah. Yep.
Very easily.
Yep.
So the eviction moratorium has been ended.
How do you go on recess?
Because they don't want the heat.
Knowing darn well these people will get kicked out of their house.
They don't want the heat. They did it and then left town.
Yep.
They don't want the heat.
Yep. And it's a Democrat-controlled Congress. So whether Republicans don't vote for it or not, everybody's gonna remember y'all was in charge. And yeah, they could. They need Republicans to pass it.
They wouldn't be able to pass it anyway.
But the fact that they didn't even try, I think. If they would have said all the Democrats voted for this and the Republicans didn't, then cool. They can they can say, they can validate it.
Yeah.
And say, look, we did it, try, but it was them.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Wow.
Well, some of them don't care. Let me take that back.
So, wow. So now that the people are getting back together, I've been saying this to people for the last 4 months. Do you know anyone that caught a cold during the time?
Yep.
I know I didn't catch one. Do you know anybody that caught the cold, got sniffles? They suffer from allergies, but I don't know anybody that had bronchitis or,
Yep. Now it's making a comeback now. Colds, upper respiratory infections, and yeah. I don't get, some people, now help me out here. Maybe I'm looking again too pragmatically. That some people say, well, the vaccine doesn't work if you have to wear a mask. To me, it was always touted, vaccine, still wear your mask. The two working together.
Nothing gives you 100% immunity.
Yep.
Not even, how many, all right, this may be too simple. So you've caught a cold before. It does not prevent you from catching another one.
Yep.
You've got the antibodies to the virus that gave you the cold in 2019. You catch a cold in 2020. So your body has immunity that if you run into that same one again, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
this was different.
This was different.
It's just,
I mean, it's not hard.
I don't get it. It just, I don't know.
It's not hard.
No, it's not hard at all. People with the flu vaccine can catch the flu. It's just not as bad. It's just.
That's why you need a new one every year. And then even then, you can still catch it.
Yeah.
Because nothing gives you 100% immunity. So some people say, well, that's why I'm not getting it, because it doesn't give you 100% immunity. Okay. So you need to be part of the 3% that's in ICU with a ventilator, and people saying you better call your family because you're not going to make it. 3% becomes a huge number if you become a part of the 3%.
Yep.
That's not hard to figure out.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, some protection is better than nothing. But
well, I think people just ought to say, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
and stop giving all these bogus behind reasons.
Yeah.
I almost used another biblical word just then. So tell me what you think about Simone Biles dropping out of the Olympics due to mental health reasons. Now, I'm
okay with it.
I mean, when did I don't want to go to a press conference become a mental health issue?
Well, I think because like Naomi Osaka's reasoning, because she already struggles from social anxiety, so it's hard for her in those formats in general.
So help me. So 60,000 people can watch you play tennis in a stadium, but you have social anxiety issues?
Well, I think that's because there's no talking to a direct person. So if it's being asked questions, all the focus just on you individually, cameras and all that stuff, versus in a game, you ran track and play games. You're in wrestling, you're zoned out of the crowd for the most part.
Not necessarily.
I mean, not all the way, but for the most part, you're focused on what you're doing.
Part of the reason you want to win is the pressure of the crowd that's watching.
Well, part of that too, but it's still come on. It's still the balance of I need to focus on what I'm doing is more important than the outside. So that's her. But Simone Biles, one of the things I will say about Simone Biles, people saying she's weak, I will counter that with this. This young woman did her stuff while she was being sexually assaulted. She broke 2 toes and won Olympic gold. She had kidney stones and won world championships. A weak person doesn't do that.
Okay.
You know.
Who said she was weak?
People were. She's weak because she gave up. A weak person doesn't have that kind of strength to do those things.
I just think that perhaps we don't process stress like we used to. I made a lighthearted comment the other day. I watched the young black guy from Beaufort, South Carolina, literally fold up like an envelope on the Olympic stage. Couldn't lift anything. He was lifting in practice forever. Couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
We were watching a lot of our ethnic athletes fold under the pressure of what they've been working for a long time.
Sure.
Mental health is not a new thing. But I don't want us to get to the point where whatever the reasons are, we don't celebrate strength and just solely get focused on celebrating issues. And we're headed towards, and I think some of the stuff in sports is, we're watching the Olympics, and people get medals who win. But we're training our children that you don't have to perform. You just get something for participating. So what happens when you get to this height and they give up medals to winners? You can't make that wrong, because I've got a grandson that may not have speed, but he runs 100 meters, but I want him to get a medal when he came in a day after everybody else. I mean, come on.
I would look at, so I don't know her condition. I would look at regular mental struggles versus an actual conditional.
Well, she looks challenged to me in her eyes. Always. She's always looked challenged to me in her eyes.
And I think she was explaining the whole twisties thing. Did you hear?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I get it.
And she did I think that she showed a practice video where she something just didn't sync right, and she twisted wrong and fell backwards on a soft mat. And she said, "This is the reason why I stopped, because if I fell on a regular canvas,
the stuff she does,
yeah.
If you make a mistake in the air, you could die.
Yeah, that would make me nervous too, to say, let me take a step back.
But then I never knew anything about the yips.
Yeah.
And that's a golf term for when all your fundamentals just flee you on the golf course.
Yeah. It happens. And the people were comparing her to Carrie Strug, whatever her name was. And Carrie was like supporting her, and people start telling Carrie's story about why she had to do it on that bad foot.
Yeah.
It was more so because Nasser and all them, the stuff they put those girls through in a negative way.
Oh yeah. It's all about winning.
It's all about winning.
Yeah, they don't care about the people.
They don't care about the people. No. And I think it's this. I posted this. I said, this generation is prioritizing mental health. Okay. And the real thing comes down to not necessarily just bashing it, but let's start asking the question why, so we can figure out.
Now let me ask you a question.
Why.
So we got 1 minute.
Sure.
We're prioritizing mental health.
Yeah.
It seems to imply that this is a new thing. It's
a new
not.
thing. It's not a new thing.
It's not.
No.
When I was back in school and we were performing, you know, they would talk to us about we were dealing with emotion.
Yeah.
But what I found out, those of us that came through very challenged backgrounds were much more equipped to deal with the
You're
stress.
used to
Yeah. When you live in the projects and you're running track and you're doing all these other things, to me it's the famous Kevin Durant example. Reporter asked him, how do you deal with all this stress? You know, 80 colleges after your MBA trying to get you. And Durant at 18 said, stress? Stress?
Yeah.
He said, a wife, 4 kids, and no job. That's stress. Yeah. This is basketball.
Right.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
We're out of time.
Yeah. But I think we need to differentiate between, we can talk about it more next week, a condition that's clinical versus just occasional depression, because we've known people that are manic and all that. I don't know if she's on the manic side, and you know.
I just think I think the pressure of not just participating, but everybody depending on you caused her issues to spring to the surface.
Yeah, but I mean, if she can be being sexually assaulted and still, you know, she got some mental strength to be able to handle some stuff. So I don't know.
Anyway, I don't think there's a pat answer to this.
Yeah, there's not.
There isn't. All right.
They tried to cut us off.
They tried to cut us off.
Whose radio show was this? No,
see you next week on OnPointe. See you today, 11:30 for our service. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. Oh, that's funny.
I know.
He said, who's radio?